That's #1 ranked Arizona arriving here at San Diego State, perhaps the most gifted team in America, with senior All-American Luke Walton, also one of the most dangerous. But inside sold-out Cox Arena, the Aztecs of San Diego State are ready to rudely welcome the Cats to their first road test of the season. For Luke Walton, a family reunion awaits. His brother Chris, a redshirt freshman for the Aztecs, he'll join us in the first half. And of course, my partner on the telecast, the patriarch of the Walton basketball dynasty, the great Bill Walton. Great to have you here. And for you, this is a very special night.
Dave, what do you say when all your dreams come true? This is absolutely so very special. One of the great moments in my life. Grew up just a half a mile from here. My entire family is here, and to be able to see my sons out here competing in this raucous atmosphere here at San Diego State, this is very, very special.
Raucous indeed. First sellout they've ever had in this building, and they welcome in Arizona. We are looking forward to it, Dandy. Now let's get right to the Star Watch tonight. Arizona's high-powered offense led by another All-American point guard, Jason Gardner. But the Cats are 11 deep, and Gardner feels no pressure to score. The Aztecs, an NCAA tournament team last year, and they are led by Mr. Bland. Tony Bland, of course, the Syracuse transfer. And as we get a look at the FedEx starting lineups, you see those three great seniors in Walton and Anderson and Gardner, but the top scorer for the Arizona Wildcats, Bill, is a freshman, and that's Hassan Adams. He's averaging about 18 points a game. They're so deep.
A team like Arizona, Dave, is not going to be judged by individual statistics. Their games have been winning by an average of 35 points per outing. This is a team that presses all the time, that shoots threes. A lot of guys play, and it's really who's in the position, who has the chance. Steve Fisher and his Aztecs, they have their work cut out for them, but this is a golden opportunity to put this program on the map.
Here's the series history. Arizona leads 15-5 all time, and of course the gentleman, the professor with the white hair that almost never moves, is Lute Olson in his 20th year at Arizona, one of the greats in the game. So we are ready to tip it off. A raucous atmosphere indeed for college basketball. That's rare in these parts. But San Diego State ready to welcome in Arizona. And Luke Walton gets his hands on the tip. So we are underway. Arizona coming in 3-0. And as Bill mentioned, just rolling over their opponents. They have averaged about 35 points per win, and a quick foul. They're a little bit late getting the clock started inside the arena, so this sellout stuff is a little bit new for San Diego State.
Why would you ever want the game to stop? So I say just turn the clock off and just let them play until everybody is so tired that no one can even jack up one more three.
Walton to the baseline, nifty behind the back pass. There's Gardner, his first shot off the mark, and it's controlled by the Aztecs.
Mike McHale in the middle, a tireless worker, the foundation of the team. When he gets it going early, the Aztecs can be very, very good.
He wears number 30 for Steve Fisher's team. They come in 2-2. After losses to Eastern Washington and Portland, they picked up a couple of wins, beating Cal Poly and UC San Diego back-to-back.
Beautiful passing, DeAndre Moore.
In and out. Rebounded away by Anderson. It comes free to Walton. Luke Walton, one of the top passers in America. He was the first non-guard to lead the Pac-10 in assists last year at 6.3 a game. Anderson double team, had it stripped and stolen away.
Beautiful double teaming defense. Anderson's got to spread out his elbows a little bit more.
Walton with the foul on Steve Sir. They're going to watch him very, very closely. The freshman is one of the top shooters in the country.
The Aztecs coming off a record-breaking performance. 16 three-pointers made in their Monday night victory, where I had the pleasure to be here and watch the Aztecs rout the Toreros. This was a 16 three-point shot night for San Diego State, record-setting performance.
And a 30-point win. Into the backcourt, Brown hustles to get it. Look at the hands on Iguodala. He gives it off to Walton. Beautifully got underneath to the dunk by Fry, and Arizona is on the scoreboard.
They come with their press here, and Ricky Anderson on the ball is so very, very good. Attack the press if you're the Aztecs.
Bland does right to the rack. This the short one. Sanders follows. He'll take the foul and go to the line.
The Aztecs are getting very good opportunities. Iguodala, the freshman, Springfield, Illinois, gets the ball up in the transition play, and then numerous fakes by Luke Walton, setting up Channing Frye by freezing the defense. The defense thinking, well, is Walton going to pass it? Is he going to shoot it? And when you're playing with a guy like Walton who will pass that ball, then you just got to keep moving all the time. Channing Frye, an outstanding big man.
Eric Sanders at the line. He's a 6'8" junior out of Carson, California. Very good defender and their top rebounder. They're going to get Johnson into the ball game here. San Diego State to bring in Tommy Johnson, the only Aztec freshman who played at all last year. He's out of Los Angeles.
Former LA City Player of the Year, went to Crenshaw High School, Tommy Johnson. Also the only left-hander on the squad for Steve Fisher.
Right at the head of the key. Iguodala lost it out of bounds, but tipped out of bounds by the Aztecs. 18-12 to go here in the first half, just getting started at San Diego State as we watch #1 Arizona.
And Tommy Johnson said, "What did I do wrong?"
Came out after, what, 6 seconds?
Must have been a communication message.
Walton down the lane. He got hit, and he will shoot. So Luke Walton to the line. Luke playing with a bit of a tender ankle and also a dislocated left pinky.
Down the lane, the defense fails to close early enough. Anticipating the contact, Luke Walton took that extra little lunge right into the defender. Normally you want to extend to score, but he was thinking getting to the line the entire time.
Now he is named after a very dear friend of yours, a man who helped you win an NBA championship in 1977, right?
Maurice Lucas, greatest teammate that I ever had. Maurice and I were here at the game together Monday night. It was really a lot of fun. Then after the game, we went over to my mom and dad's house, which is less than a half a mile. And there's Chris Walton, my youngest son.
Chris the younger, one of 4 Waltons to play Division I basketball as it's knocked out of bounds right at the 18-minute mark. 3-2 Arizona.
Channing Frye, an excellent shot blocker. Just waits. He allows the offensive player to come right into him and court chop him. Like to see him able to keep that ball in play on the block.
There's Sir connecting on a 3-pointer, and Bill, every shot he's taken this year, except one, has been outside that 3-point arc.
He's a spot-up shooter. He waits till the play develops. He works off other people. He's not a guy who's going to create himself. They're really pressuring Ricky Anderson a lot on the double team. Give up the ball a little soon. And pass.
Underneath Anderson, but blocked away. So here come the Aztecs. They lead by 2, and their crowd is on fire. In and out, the shot by Sanders.
First road game of the season for Arizona.
Up to a 3-0 start, but all of those at home. And right now, the Wildcats are a little sloppy on the road.
Steve Fisher's defensive strategy of double teaming immediately in the low post has worked very effectively. Right now, it's the Aztecs who are quicker to the ball.
So far, Arizona's explosive practices have been far more competitive than their 3 games, and they'll give it back over to the Wildcats here. We're going to look at that 3-pointer by Steve Sir. Man, he can stick it.
Steve Sir, who redshirted last year and hails from Minnetonka, Minnesota, just on the outskirts of Minneapolis. Steve Sir, his dad played for Steve Fisher's mentor, Les Whitkey, the guy who gave Steve Fisher his first shot at coaching at the high school level in Michigan.
Anderson inside for Frye. His hook shot good. So Frye ties it at 5.
Arizona a little sluggish in the set offense. Floating passes, not crisp out of the double teams. Fortunately, Channing Frye good enough to still deliver without any momentum from the pass. Mike McHale drops that ball out of bounds. Not the strength of his game catching the ball.
Well, Sunday night, Reese Davis, Fred Alberts, and Mark May have the first breakdown and analysis of each and every bowl game. It's the College Game Day Bowl Selection Special presented by Outback at 6 Eastern Time. Walton has it rim out. Kind of crashed the board. Sanders there to pick it off. Aztecs attacking again.
Jason Gardner done a fine job on Tony Bland, keeping him from getting any good looks early.
There's Bland handling the ball, the Syracuse transfer. To Moore, the point guard. He drops it in for 3.
The press has generated nothing for Arizona early on. They're having to get everything out of the set offense. They're not dominating the defensive backboards. Nice pass.
Great feed for Anderson from Walton. And you'll see a lot of that tonight out of the slick passing Luke Walton.
Ricky Anderson is one of my favorite players in college basketball. Hails out of Long Beach. Is a special player who fits in beautifully in Lute Olson's system. Reminds me a lot of an old teammate of mine, Dave Myers. Incredibly long arms. Granted, Dave Myers was a former NCAA College Player of the Year at UCLA. A similar game with
the bump and the charge. Arizona basketball. And San Diego State has the 1-point lead. And there's Rick Anderson, who said when he was 8 years old he wanted to grow to be 6'9" and play like Larry Bird. That was his dream. Trying to lead Anderson. And the Arizona Wildcats are...
The 2003 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on ESPN and ESPN2.
He's not my boyfriend.
This holiday season, get over to KFC and get amazing values on America's favorite chicken.
Ballet!
Bye.
Skating!
Later.
Ball!
See ya.
Football!
For limited time, get 45% more popcorn chicken free when you get an individual size for just $1.99. Perfect for on the go. Or get a 10-piece bucket of original recipe or extra crispy eat at home for an unbelievable $7.99. So whichever one you choose, KFC's got great values for you.
People all over the world, join hands, start a love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train. Let it ride.
With a 240 horsepower engine, an available DVD player, and a quadruple 5-star safety rating, the Odyssey is a great way to see the country and bond with your family.
It's beautiful. Oh, man, look. Cool. Total destruction.
The Odyssey from Honda. There's something for everybody.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by KFC. There's fast food, then there's KFC.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Number 15, Missouri, taking on USC. 1-point game, getting inside 4 minutes. Jimmy McKinney going strong to the cup for Quinn Snyder's team. Mizzou up by 4. They're under 2 minutes to go.
15-12 to play here in the first half. It is the first time they've ever sold out this building, Cox Arena. And this game sold out a week ago. It's also the second time the Aztecs have hosted the #1 team in the country. Back in the 80s during DePaul's heyday, they had them in here for a contest.
This is such a magnificent arena, built in the old Aztec Bowl where they used to have the football games back in the Eric Coryell year with Haven Moses. And they also used to have a lot of rock concerts right here on this very site.
Did you see a couple? I think we did. I think Bill Walton was a regular attendee.
I came on my bike or my skateboard.
More to control the offense for the Aztecs. Last year, 21 wins. They won the Mountain West tournament. Went on to the NCAAs and lost in the first round. Trying to get back there this year under Steve Fisher. Another long bomb. This one way off the mark by Steve Sir, who's averaging about 13.5 points a game.
When Sir gets matched up out there on Channing Frye, back him up. Channing will extend. That's Arizona's defensive strategy. Push it all the way out, no matter who you're guarding. Totally interchangeable team. Then run a give and go and utilize your quickness.
Will Bynum about to check in for Lute Olson. Iguodala underneath Anderson hooks it. A little short. Give the Aztecs credit. They're crashing the glass. More lost control, but it's out of bounds off Arizona. 8-7, San Diego State with a 1-point lead.
And right there is my mother. Right there, San Diego State alumni, our good friends on the right and left, Peggy and Dan Mazzella. My wife right there, Lori Walton. family reunion here is having a great time in San Diego.
Just tremendous. And we're going to hear from your son. Chris is going to come join us in just a bit.
I was out on the beach this morning with our dogs and Greg Lee and Dan Mazzella and all the dogs. We had a wonderful day. Life is good in the Walton family.
I would think so. Johnson sealed off up top, gets it into the corner for Moore. Slapped out of bounds, and the Aztecs will keep it. 14:05 to go in the half.
One of the big concerns for Steve Fisher coming in was going to be how the Aztecs would handle the pressure that the Wildcats put on. They're so quick, they're so deep. Foul trouble can never really be a problem when you have so much talent here. And they're in such fabulous condition, this Arizona team.
Shot clock is at 9. Sanders way out there. Do they see it? It's at 4. Johnson partially blocked on that play. Here comes Gardner.
Transition defense has been superb for San Diego State. Nice fronting job that time by Tremaine Davis down low.
I think they got Johnson for the foul, pushing on Hassan Adams, the spectacular freshman from Los Angeles. He is leading them at 17.7 a game.
He is fun to watch. The two new guys they got this year, Iguodala and Hassan Adams. Wow, what talent.
Big Bynum blocked, but an offensive foul. A charge is called, and it goes the other way.
Tommy Johnson stands in. Will Bynum, who's improved so much this year, looks to have the shot blocked cleanly. College basketball really has to go to the rule where they put the hash mark and the restricted zone underneath the basket. There's just too many guys running underneath offensive attackers. It's dangerous. It's not good for the game of basketball.
Maybe a bit of an early surprise here. Arizona down. Johnson to the hole. Up and in. And a shot made by number 20, Tremaine Davis. And they've opened up a 3-point lead. Walton with the kick out. Into the corner. Bynum with a 3.
Will Bynum has improved as much as anyone from last year on this entire squad. And all the guys have made vast strides. But it's been Will Bynum who's really committed himself to doing everything. And the press forces San Diego State to call a timeout here.
Fisher has to call time to avoid the turnover right at the 13-minute mark. Bynum's 3 tying it up at 10. And a timeout, San Diego State. Well, in 1954, Paul Bear Bryant took 115 football players into the drought-ridden desert of Junction, Texas. Only 35 would survive to play for him. Saturday, December 14th at 9 on ESPN, immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation, ESPN's original entertainment presents the Junction Boys. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, the keyword Junction.
What a story that is. And when you talk about successful coaches, the ones I played for, John Wooden, Lenny Wilkins, Jack Ramsey, Red Auerbach, but 20th year now as the head coach at Arizona, 1 championship in '97, 18 straight NCAA tourneys, which is the longest active streak in NCAA basketball, 15 consecutive 20-win seasons. Lute Olson brought water to the desert. This guy should think about starting his own religion.
One of the great gentlemen in the game. One of the friendliest guys to coach a major college program.
But don't confuse friendliness with being tough, demanding, and firm, which he is. And all these young players in his charge, they are well aware of it.
Down to Davis. Johnson closely guarded by Adams, who's a marvelous defender. Bland low, using his body. Talk about using your body. Davis couldn't convert from close range. Aztecs will keep it.
One of the weaknesses from last year's Wildcat team was a lack of defensive rebound. They just couldn't control their own defensive boards. You can't be a great championship team unless you do that. Now, it has not been a factor as the games have all been blowouts this year. But right now, they are not showing an ability to dominate their own defensive backcourt. Not a good sign.
Bland with one of the best mid-range games in the country. The transfer from Syracuse. He has the energy on the floor for the Aztecs.
Nice pass, Jason Gardner.
Adams so quick. But Gardner with the assist.
Throw it down, Hassan. Throw it down.
Bryant sealed off quickly on the baseline. That swarming Arizona defense. A foul this time against Gardner on a push right on the sideline. But look at this dunk.
Hassan Adams' ability to elevate, to play above the rim. What Lute Olson is doing right now in terms of hand-picking the top recruits is two new players for Steve Fisher come in, and that really fires up the loyalists here at Cox Arena. Eric Sanders to the bench, well-deserved round of applause, but Chris Manker and Evan Burns, the most highly regarded prospect in the history of Aztec basketball, making his first appearance of the season tonight here.
Also true of Manker, who's been out with an injury. And also, he was a transfer. There's Burns with his first shot, and it's off the back iron.
Nice outlet, Hassan Adams.
Gardner dribble drive, laid it in.
Steve Fisher said, we've got to keep them from scoring in bursts. This is a team so capable, Arizona, of going on 20-0 runs at any time. Over the top.
And there's Burns for two. Evan Burns, the McDonald's All-American. And what an answer.
Aztec Bowl rocking like it never has before. It's the days of Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix.
Pull up pop by Moore, got hung up, and he banked it in.
You got to call bank on that.
You got to. Smile.
I thought that he got fouled by Arizona.
I think that was his thought. Nearly lost.
Jack it up, Will.
Finally. Not that time. Tipped up. Aztec basketball. Moore has really been pushing it, the senior. He's the point guard, a real scrapper.
Beautiful basketball. Signs of things to come here for Steve Fisher.
That's a 7-footer knocking down a three-pointer.
Well, Chris Brinker is a tremendous basketball talent. Dad played basketball at Oregon State, University of Pacific, back in the mid-70s. Didn't work out for him, for Chris up at Oregon State. He's proud to be here with the Aztecs playing for Steve Fisher.
Today is first day of eligibility. Gardner lost it. Nearly turned over. Fox got it back for Arizona. Tied at 17.
San Diego State's defense has been fabulous.
Adams couldn't convert. On the floor. And a jump ball. And on the possession arrow. I will go the other way.
I've been coming to Aztec basketball games since the early 60s. That's more than 40 years. I have never seen a more electric crowd and situation than right here tonight. Tie score. The #1 Arizona Wildcats getting all they can handle. What is Lute Olson going to do about it?
With a 240 horsepower engine, an available DVD player, and a quadruple 5-star safety rating, the Odyssey is a great way to see the country and bond with your family.
It's beautiful. Oh, man, look. Cool. Total destruction.
The Odyssey from Honda. There's something for everybody.
What more could you ask for? How about a deep discount on a second pizza? Now you can get any other medium pizza for the unbelievable price of just $2.99 when you order the Chicago dish at Pizza Hut.
7-Up is proud to sponsor youth hockey. And for when they get thirsty, I've provided plenty of 7-Up. Because I care about the kids. 7-Up is now proud to sponsor youth swimming. Kick those legs, Tommy.
This holiday season, it's time to get rolling. Because Cingular is changing the world of wireless by offering 1,000 anytime minutes for $39.99 and letting you keep the minutes you don't use from month to month. It's called Rollover. It's big, and it's only from Cingular Wireless. 1,000 anytime minutes, and every one of them has rollover. And now get this cool Motorola phone, only from Cingular Wireless.
Well, this place is rocking and rolling in San Diego. 17-17, 10:02 to play here in the first half. Delighted to be joined by Chris Walton, who is redshirting this year, the junior. We didn't pull him away from the bench. We didn't get him in civvy clothes just for the interview. But, Chris, thanks for joining us. This is a great arena tonight.
Thanks for having me. I'm having a great time. I can't believe you guys pulled me away from my team at a time like this.
Do you know any of those people over there in the student section?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them around campus, and we're glad they're out here supporting us tonight.
What about the one with Steve Fisher's 2 heads? I'm not sure.
Don't want to go there. How hard is it for you to be sitting here tonight and not out here helping out?
You know, it's one of the hardest nights of my life so far. You know, having Luke out there and having Bill here doing the game, I want to be out there with my team helping them win.
The block, and here come the Wildcats. Hassan Adams takes control, tied at 17. There's your brother. You've seen that in the backyard more than once.
He must have been working on that jump shot in the offseason.
How much trash talking has gone on about this game?
Since the day we got on the schedule with Arizona, I got a phone call from Luke and all his teammates, and we've been going nonstop since then.
The steal by Bynum, working on Moore, took the foul, and he will go to the line. Now, of course, next year, you'll be ready to go, and a lot is expected of the San Diego State team the next several years. Hanauer is going to be coming aboard, what, next week?
Yeah, Hanauer will be eligible for the Hawaii game on September 14th.
So it looks like a lot of good things are going to happen. Your dad was saying he's never heard it like this before in this building.
I've got a bigger question, though, Dave.
Sure.
And that, has Coach Fisher relaxed the facial hair restrictions around here? What is going on?
What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to emulate Bill's beard from the 70s, and this is all I can come up with.
Keep working on it. Keep working on it, Chris. I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Looks like $1 million. But, I mean, getting a chance like this, and this is going by the wayside, obviously, to play against your brother on a national stage like this. I know he was jacked up about it. Hopefully one of those days will come down the road for the two of you again. But he said, you know, just the opportunity to be in the same building with you and your dad was one of the highlights of his life.
Yeah, well, this is a great night for all of us, and I wish I could be out there playing, but unfortunately, I had to make the decision to redshirt.
In and out. Anderson pulls it away.
Some of these new players, Evans and Manker, look very talented. Your take on them?
Well, I've been playing with these guys in the scout team for the last couple of weeks, and we're tough in practice with Wesley Stokes and Travis Hanauer as well. And luckily for us, these guys got eligible tonight.
The quick trigger on the perimeter jumper. Luke Walton trying to keep it alive there. Maybe if he had his shirt tucked in, he would be able to get the elevation needed.
His second personal foul. Chris, what was it like the day your dad walked through the door and he said, you know what? I plan on taking over the basketball universe. Every one of you guys have to play Division I. Adam, Nate, Luke, Chris, you all have to. Chris, your dad, a legend at UCLA. What was that like?
Well, he never forced any of us to play basketball. It was all our choices, and he always stressed the fact that we do well in school, get our education, and have that to rely on. We all made the decision to play basketball ourselves.
How are you different from your brother as a player?
As a player, I think all the brothers share similar traits on the floor. I don't think we're really that different in many ways.
Adam is here tonight.
Adam's sitting right back there.
Sitting just a couple seats behind us. And Nathan, the other son, is playing professionally tonight in France against Michael Brooks, one of my old Clipper teammates.
No kidding.
What a small world.
Isn't that remarkable? Adam, who was the oldest, played at LSU. Nate at Princeton. And this one tied at 21. And it's been deafening inside the Cox Arena tonight here on the campus of San Diego State.
The changing defenses by Steve Fisher have been very effective. Arizona able to get nothing out of their set offense.
Iguodala got airborne, just tossed it up. A wild shot.
Chris, what was the mood of the team coming in?
Oh, we were excited. We had this opportunity last year when we played at Duke, the #1 team in the nation. So we know what it's like to play against the best. And all week in practice, everyone's been up. They've been excited. We're ready to go tonight.
Well, San Diego State has been hot from three-point distance. Sir, early on. Man, can he shoot it. Anything inside 25 feet. Moore following up as well. The point guard, he's very scrappy, very much a fighter. And a 7-footer moments ago knocking it down. We're tied at 21.
With a 240 horsepower engine, an available DVD player, and a quadruple 5-star safety rating, the Odyssey is a great way to see the country and bond with your family.
It's beautiful. Oh, man, look. Cool. Total destruction.
The Odyssey from Honda. There's something for everybody.
He turned boys
Well, that's how it's done.
into players. He turned players into champions. Tom Berenger as Paul Bear Bryant, the Junction Boys. Saturday, December 14th, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Next Saturday, it's the closest race in Heisman Trophy history. The field is wide open, but who will strike the pose? The Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Wendy's at 8, followed by the Junction Boys at 9. Next Saturday on ESPN.
The list. Get that list.
This makes 20.
20. This is going to be a great time. Whoa! Run, Elvin, run!
It's no secret, Santa. Tech TV's Top 20 gift list is for everyone. See expert gift picks for the season on Tech TV's Top 20 Gifts. Check it out on DirecTV Channel 354. For showtimes, log on to techtv.com today.
The remote control brought a new level of convenience into every household. With this powerful tool, it is just a matter of a few easy steps to order any pay-per-view event or movie. First, make sure your receiver is continuously connected to a land-based phone line. Then go to the 100s, pick the program of your choice, select the buy button, and confirm your purchase. The whole thing takes just a few moments, and you're all set. Say hi to the future.
Tied at 21, number 1 Arizona getting all they can handle from San Diego State tonight. And a trip down Walton memory lane here. Guys, what are we looking at?
Well, there's the old dog. That's Tron. The kid's growing up. That's Luke on the left and Christopher on the right. Oh, goodness gracious, in the bath.
Oh, we had to show it.
And there's Adam Walton, the oldest college graduate, now working here in San Diego in the entertainment industry. 27 years old, Adam, doing very, very well.
No kidding. It took you a little while to get that one out, 27 years old. But there's Luke right now on the bench. And I know one thing that we wanted to touch on is some of your recollections of growing up with an NBA star, one of the great players of all time, and some of the other great players you hung around with just being around your dad and what you learned from them.
Well, yeah, I mean, any kid, is going to have the time of their life. They're growing up around guys like Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. And I think you can really see that in the way we all play basketball, is the type of basketball we watch as children growing up.
Well, you can all pass the ball. You all have eyes on the backside of your heads. Bland lays it up, no good, but the tip rolls out.
Don't ever underestimate the influence that Greg Lee had on these young players, too, because he was in the backyard with them every day. After the mornings at the beach playing the volleyball, we come home for Maria's Tacos, and then out to the basketball court, out to the tennis court, and Greg Lee at his home in San Diego watching today.
Now, did your dad, as we come to you tonight from Cox Arena at Aztec Bowl here in San Diego, did your dad do what he did with Luke? Those little messages, those pyramids of success messages from Coach Wood. Did he leave those in your lunchbox, in your lunch pail like he did with Luke?
Written in giant letters across the front of our brown bags every day at school, and all our friends would always rush up to us to see what he wrote that day.
What was your favorite?
My favorite was be quick but don't hurry.
My favorite was the worst things you could do for the ones you love are the things they could and should do for themselves.
That's a good one. I like that one too.
Need you to write that down for me a little bit later.
How's the food drive going? I know you're orchestrating a charity event here to make it happen for people who are having some trouble in the San Diego community here.
Yeah, I organized a food drive tonight for a nonprofit organization called Special Delivery, and hopefully we had a big turnout. I haven't been up there to check it out, but I hope everyone came out and showed their support for it tonight.
Well, I think Chris is a little too humble to admit this, but this was your idea. You came up with it. It wasn't an administrator of the school who said, Chris, can you help us out with this? This was your concept.
Yeah, I found out about the organization through my class I'm taking here at school, and I thought it would be a good idea, and I really thought I could help out.
23-21 Arizona, and here just a 2-point lead, the #1 team in the country. They are struggling with 7:15 to go in the first half.
They're getting outplayed. They're getting out hustled. And Coach Olson is going to look over at me and say, that's the last time I ever bring my team over to your house for dinner the night before.
It might be. Is he superstitious like that? He might be after tonight. 7:15 to play here, and his team in a little bit of trouble. And you see what they have done so far. And Chris, I know you're very aware of these numbers. They've been crushing opponents, near 100 points a game, 35, 36 points a game, their average win.
Yeah, well, I've been watching all their games so far just on my own, and also in film sessions this week. And now they got a great team, and they're a high-scoring team. And that's one of our game plans is to keep the numbers low tonight.
Playing on the road is so totally different. When you come out and you forget how hard it is. You're over there at home, you're at McHale Center, and everything is wonderful. Everybody's cheering you. Now people are here booing you, and they got the signs. They got the co-eds jumping up and down with Steve Fisher's face plastered all over their bodies. And this is unbelievable here. That's a 5-second violation. The press, Ricky Anderson is awesome on that front line of the press. Those long arms, so reminiscent of Dave Myers.
Well, this is something that Lute Olson instituted at the very start of practice this year, this 90-foot game, pressing all the time. It's not necessarily designed for turnovers. A slip and a fall by Bland, and he'll give it back over.
When you have the best players, and when you have the most best players, your idea is just to get it going up and down. Let's make this game as fast and as long as possible. That increases your odds of winning.
Hey, Chris, real quick, your decision to redshirt, why did you make that decision, and how will that work out for you, think?
Well, my main reasoning was for academic purposes and, to take a year off and concentrate on school and get myself better as a basketball player and just getting a year of maturity. So I think it's really going to help in the long run.
And your brother, of course, a 5-year guy as well?
Yeah, all three of my brothers are 5-year guys.
Right.
So.
Well, it's worked wonders for Luke Walton, that's for sure, the All-American. And they need him in the game right now. There's Philo. He got fouled on his way up and will shoot 2 right at 7 minutes to go. Just 4 points separating Arizona and San Diego State.
How does this game compare with the great run to the Mountain West Tournament last year up in Las Vegas?
Oh, those 3 days in Las Vegas were the greatest days of my life. I never had more fun. The team was excited. We came out every day, and we played hard, and it paid off in the end. We got the championship and made it to the tournament.
Beating BYU, then Wyoming, then having 4,000 fans storm the court there at Thomas and Mack Center, and all came up from San Diego. I can remember the day when you couldn't get 40 people to come to a San Diego State game if they were giving away free tickets.
Yeah, that's something that we're real proud of here at San Diego State right now with the basketball team. I think we've really turned the community's perception around about us, and they're coming out and supporting us tonight.
Just look at the crowd there. Sold out, largest crowd in San Diego State basketball history.
Well, the lead is opened up a bit. We'll see if the press does its work. Sir deep into the corner.
Keep attacking. Don't get cautious if you're San Diego State.
Laned off the fake. Well done.
Tease him, Tony. How was it with Tony and you at the house last night with all the Arizona guys?
Oh, they were giving us a hard time, but we knew it was going to happen, and he's out here having a great game tonight. So.
Anderson banks one in from close range. 29-23. Chris Walton with us. Luke Walton in the game for Arizona, of course. Dave O'Brien and Bill Walton here at the mic. Very much a Walton family reunion. I think the Waltons, the only family in history to have their own shoe contract, or you should have anyway, as we look back to those great days at UCLA. Bill Walton in the Bruin colors.
Oh, I used to have red hair. I used to have hair.
Got a lot of red hair. That's a nice little reverse.
Use the board.
Your dad may have used the glass better than anyone I've ever seen. It's good on the drive.
I had the benefit for playing for a great teaching coach in John Wooden. All of my sons made their choices to go to play for great teaching coaches. Dale Brown, John Thompson III at Princeton, Lute Olson at Tucson, Steve Fisher here at San Diego State. That's what makes a dad really proud.
29-25, there's Steve Fisher in his 4th year at San Diego State.
What a remarkable job he has done in building this program. We're not talking rebuild, we're talking building this program.
Well, before he got here, losing seasons in 13 out of 14 years. And last year, 21 wins. And as Chris points out, a very bright future for them.
With the leadership of Rick Bay, the athletic director. The commitment of Steve Weber, the president of San Diego State University.
Channing Frye, right from the foul line. 31-25. He has 8 points.
The press has only been a little bit of a plus for Arizona. San Diego State, if they can just convert a couple of quick hitting opportunities, turn this game right around.
Starting to push it, one of the top point guards in America. There's his three, but it's short.
I love threes in transition.
And he gets it off quick, doesn't he? He doesn't waste any time. Neither does Fry. And a little fist pump here at the table by Chris Walton. And his team is down just 3. There's a quick shot off the mark that time by Tremaine Davis, rebounded by the Aztecs. They're trying to tie it. Oh, this place would have come unglued. A big rebound, blocked away by Iguodala. He got a hand on Sanders' shot. Look at that dribble by Moore. That's something out of the Globetrotters.
Marcus Haynes.
A foul from behind by Lattimore. Great action, though.
Arizona is getting pounded underneath their defensive board. Mike McHale, Eric Sanders. It was your first-year roommate, correct?
He was my first-year roommate in the dorms. Eric and I are great friends.
Steve Kerr with a beautiful stroke. The ball movement. San Diego State has been the better team tonight. They still trail by 3 points.
Well, here, look at the three-point field goal accuracy. Arizona just 3 out of 9. And San Diego State. How big will that be tonight? What do you think, Chris?
You know, I think our teams, we got some streaky three-point shooters. Steve Kerr has been pretty consistent all year, but I think if our guys can stay on top of it tonight and knock the 3 ball down, it's going to go down to the last 5 minutes of this game.
More importantly, I think it's going to be determined by rebounding. If San Diego State continues on the offensive glass with McHale, Sanders, Tony Bland, Evan Burns, Manker, they're going to win this game. I mean, rebounding is what controls the outcome. You can't get the ball. How are you going to win?
Mike McHale at the line. Off to an excellent start. He leads the Aztecs with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Steve Fisher believes he'll be one of the top big men in the Mountain West Conference this year. A 2-point game.
Incredible maturity for Mike McHale over the last couple of years since coming to play for Steve Fisher. Pushing foul by Steve Kerr that time. Send Will Bynum to the line. But the rebounds, San Diego State were 16. Arizona State, the #1 team in the country. Right now, that's just a lot of hot air.
4:30 left in the half. There are a lot of people, and even in this community, who might not have said so this morning, but they believe this game would be just about over by now. That Arizona would have run away with this thing and already put it away. That's the last thing that's happened.
Steve Fisher is an outstanding coach. What he has done here has just been phenomenal. McHale again showing one of the real weaknesses of his game, his inability to hold on to that ball. Stick a fork in it, Mike.
McHale, a guy off the mean streets of Washington, D.C., and barely got out alive. Unfortunately, his brother did not. His brother Darryl shot to death at the age of 27. But he's gotten out and having a terrific year so far. 33-29.
Arizona's getting no good looks. And they're getting nothing in transition. San Diego State's transition defense has been flawless.
3:58 to play here before the first half ends. And we've had a delightful visit so far with Chris Walton. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Here, I've got a razor for you here. Go take care of some of that facial hair, please. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bill.
We love you, Chris.
Love you too.
Okay, bye now.
The playoff race intensifies, and the countdown team is ready.
There's a lot of football left, you know, and anything can happen.
We'll tell you how Sapp plans to shut down Vic.
This kid is redefining the way you defense offenses.
How Peyton will trick the Titans on the line of scrimmage. And we'll talk running style with Priest Holmes. Plus, John Madden and a closer look at Week 14's spectacular matchup. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Oh, this cold. I need a good night's sleep.
This will make you feel better.
Will I sleep better?
Much better. You'll sleep like a baby.
Yeah, they wake up every 2 hours.
Like Sleeping Beauty. You'll sleep like you did before we had kids.
Give me that.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine.
Hey, this one's different. It's not just a printer.
No, man, it's a scanner that prints.
It's a printer that copies. It's pretty easy, I'll say.
The new Print Trio from Lexmark. Prints, copies, scans, all for only $129. Lexmark. Passion for printing ideas.
They wanted to turn street money into smart money.
I didn't know you can bring it to me all in cash.
But they trusted the wrong man.
Hey, Vic, he took the money.
Go back to your getup.
Empire. Rated R. Now playing.
Just because a toothbrush is electric doesn't mean it works like a Sonicare. It has patented sonic technology. Sonicare gets your teeth whiter and healthier in just 28 days, guaranteed. See for yourself or ask your dental professional about the Sonicare difference.
A highly entertaining first half here at San Diego State. 33-29, Arizona with the lead. And Sunday, John Saunders and Terry Bowden will be in Times Square Stadium to reveal which teams battle for the national championship, plus all of the Bowl Championship Series matchups. The Tostitos BCS Selection Show, Sunday live at 3:30 Eastern. That's on ABC. And then tune in tomorrow night at ESPN, 6 o'clock Eastern. It's the College Game Day Bowl Selection Special, presented by Outback. ESPN breaks down the college football bowl picture. And can anybody unseat Miami? Today, beating Virginia Tech a completely different way. 56-45 was the final score for the Hurricanes. Ken Dorsey was a Heisman Trophy candidate. He was spectacular again. 33-29 to score here. And a look at those BCS standings. Miami on the road to the championship tilt against Ohio State and the Buckeyes. Georgia number 3. And there's Southern Cal, an old nemesis of Bill Walton.
Kind of sad to see the UCLA Bruins not in that top 10. Ouch.
Gardner off to Adams. A fight here for the Wildcats. Perhaps unexpected, but it's their first road game, and they have scuffled. Fox with the spin. Got it.
Isaiah Papa Fox, Luke Walton's roommate in the house just across the street from McHale. Where's number 2 because he loves Moses Malone.
That changed his number from number 52 when it's thrown away.
Moses and I were teammates for a brief stretch, along with Maurice Lucas in the Portland Trailblazer days. And Moses Malone was making $350,000, and they said that's too much to pay a bench player. They traded him for a draft pick. And then he went on to win 4 MVPs.
That's all, yeah. And dominate the paint night in and night out.
Make the Hall of Fame. Yeah. All-time NBA team, announced in 1997. Nice pass, Mike McHale.
There's serve. Can't get it. On a man-sized rebound by Adams.
But Adams is rebounding.
There's Bynum. Jack the 3.
Will Bynum has just done such a tremendous job of getting himself in better condition. Crane Tech High School out of Chicago. Now here's the press really taking some time off the clock. You make Eric Sanders bring it up. You've done your job.
Well, Bynum's tray puts them up 38-29. Biggest lead in some time for the Wildcats. Bynum has 12 points. Serve finds Bland open.
Terrific back screen, Eric Sanders to get it open.
Nice follow there by McHale in the paint.
McHale's so much more effective with his back to the basket. If he has to handle the ball or play facing the basket, it's just not really his game.
Steve Fisher to get the 7-footer Manker back into the contest here. Inside 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Nice move on the baseline by Adams, and he's trying to get him going. Hassan Adams for 2. He has 4. Well, folks, in 1954, Paul Bear Bryant took 115 football players into Junction, Texas. Only 35 survived to play for him, including future coach Gene Stallings. Saturday, December 14th at 9 o'clock at ESPN. That immediately follows the Heisman Trophy presentation.
Gene Stallings went on to coach my older brother.
No kidding.
with the Dallas Cowboys.
With the back iron.
My older brother in attendance here tonight. The UCLA legend, the All-American.
See how it all ties into the Walton family reunion. That's just extraordinary. That's karma. 1:40 left in the half.
A little bit of a zone defense here by Arizona.
Bank shot up no good by Sanders, but he'll take the foul. Halftime coming up with Reese Davis in the studio. Are the Ducks better than the Jayhawks? The Fighting Irish roll on, and it's number 18 Kentucky against number 14 North Carolina. We'll give you all the details.
Is it there? Bruce Walton right there, sitting next to John Carlson on the right.
All the tickets tonight went to the Walton family, or friends of the Waltons, or people who want to be friends of the Waltons.
Well, we were taking some pictures with some of the student body before the game.
Is that what I thought you were running for mayor and winning handily, by the way.
Luke Walton played with 2 fouls, not getting a lot of playing time here.
Now is Luke still a little bit tender with that ankle?
He said it's fine. Both he and Salim Stoudemire say their ankles are fine, and that's a good sign for Ludos.
A push on the drive, and a foul stops the clock with 1:25 to play as DeAndre Moore is hit with a personal. And just 8 points separating number 1 Arizona from San Diego State. It's going to be number 3 on him. And we'll send Gardner to the line, the All-American point guard.
Jason Gardner, when he was on the Australia trip that the Arizona Wildcats took this last year, it was so funny because this is a guy who doesn't really like the water. And there's Jason Gardner's mom, Stephanie, right there, sitting next to my son Adam. But when Lute Olson talking about Jason Gardner, you better be playing hard if you're playing alongside Jason Gardner, or he's going to be right there in your face. But the stories about the Australia trip, Jason and Salim, they don't like the water.
Right.
And they went out to the Great Barrier Reef. And to see the look on their faces when everybody started jumping in the water and the fish and the wildlife, what an experience that was. The team really came together during that 22-day travel.
Great look underneath, and Bland drops it in for 2. Bland has 4.
Manker playing a good ball. This is going to be a big plus for Steve Fisher here.
Manker with that nifty assist. Less than a minute to play in the half.
Steve Fisher is going to get ball players. This is just his 4th year.
Stoudemire, the president David Stoudemire, misfires there in and out for the push foul underneath. And Fox was fouled from behind.
Manker up high can handle that ball beautifully, the same way his dad Steve did so many years ago. Steve here in attendance today. He was attending practice, and the beautiful backdoor cut. The defense, Salim Stoudemire, who's only played 12 minutes all season because of the high ankle sprain.
So Isaiah Fox will shoot. Very solid performance as a freshman last year. Another guy whose dad was an athlete. He started in the early 80s at Arizona as an offensive lineman on a football team.
Isaiah Fox was born the same day that Lute Olson signed on as coach of the Arizona Wildcats back in 1983.
It was meant to be.
You're talking about synergy. Nice rebound, Ricky Anderson.
Can't get it.
What a pass.
The follow. That's what it turned out to be. Bynum right there. A lucky man. A 10-point lead for the Cats. Burns was open at the head of the key. Johnson tried to take it himself, and he was fouled by Stoudemire.
Tommy Johnson's wristband or wrist tape is coming off over there. He had to pull the tape off and throw it over the sideline. I think he tried to throw it at my brother Bruce there.
Hey, you got to like this throwback look a little bit, though. I mean, San Diego State going with the high socks.
I like the high socks. I like the hair. I like Dennis Lattimore's hair. I like Tommy Johnson growing the hair out. Although I'm a little concerned about Chris Walton's facial hair.
Still, that may be remedied by halftime.
Fortunately, Coach Fisher had him cut the locks off. It was getting quite a bit out of control.
Was it really?
Over the summer. It was embarrassing.
You had a word.
It was embarrassing. Yeah. He doesn't listen to me. I'm just a good ass.
I love how he hustled right
back.
There's
Travis Hanauer right there. There's a good picture of Travis Hanauer. Laguna Beach, started his career at the University of Arizona, and just an outstanding ball player and a wonderful young man. Comes from a great family there in Laguna Beach, and he can't play this week. 1 week shy. He's eligible next week for the game against Hawaii. It just would have been so nice if the NCAA would have said, look, 1 week, you're going to play for the one time you can against your old school in country. That's right. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of compassion. It just can't be a blanket. No, no, no.
Well, they did get Evan Burns back tonight. He was number 21 for the Aztecs.
Which led to the sign, if the transcripts are legit, you must admit.
And the NCAA eligibility committee admitted that was the case. 44-35 here, and they're going to get Missouri transfer Wesley Stokes next year, along with Chris Walton. So things are looking up seriously for this program.
You talk about hair, Wesley Stokes, he's got it. There's Wesley right there now. Wesley, he's got it in the braids, in the rows right now. This guy, he's got hair. When he blows it out, I had some of his games last year for Missouri. I was just so pleased, so happy. Reminded me of the old Darnell Hillman days.
Sure, yes. the great big ones. Now, mine doesn't move. I mean, a little.
I used to have hair, but it's gone.
Still looks like $1 billion.
It's like my mind. Now there it is. That's where I like to sit, right in the middle.
They want you to come over there, Bill. You got at least at halftime.
I know this guy. I went to high school with that guy. Yeah. And then this one, I'm going to let you describe this one, Dave.
That's Steve Fisher. 2 of Steve Fisher are better than 1. That's all I can say.
Couldn't agree more.
Here we go. Last 22 seconds of the half. Sold out Cox Arena here at San Diego State. We've had a delightful visit with Chris Walton, and we expect an excellent second half to come here. The Wildcats, their first road effort of the year, and it's been a fight for them. Stoudemire. Gardner spots up. Played by Buckland.
Playing for one, they couldn't get it done. San Diego State, they got a lot to be proud of here, even though they trailed by 9. They have given Arizona all they can ask for.
So there's your score at halftime. Arizona leading 44-35 from San Diego State. Let's go to the studio and Reese Davis. Ready for the second half. And number 1 Arizona 44, San Diego 35, and the Aztecs have played very, very tough tonight, Bill.
They were so aggressive on defense, coming from the weak side, blocking shots time and time again. We're in control of the boards, the perimeter shooting. Menker, Sir. San Diego State did a marvelous job. Turnovers. 10 turnovers, that did hurt them. The field goal percentage for them to shoot that well against an outstanding defensive team like Arizona is very good. But San Diego State could not get to the free throw line. Will Bynum was very, very good. It'd be nice to see Luke Walton and Jason Gardner get going a little bit, but the ability of Steve Fisher to control the tempo has kept Arizona pretty much in check here.
Now, you talk about the effort that Arizona is going to be seeing because they're a marked team. They're number 1. They're everybody's number 1. They're going to be seeing this kind of performance everywhere they go.
That's what you live for. You want that pressure. You want it on you. What would you want to go into a building and have it be flat and dead? You want it to be the biggest event of the year.
Well, this place was noisy. It was lively.
Nice passing.
Back out for Walton. He's free and knocks down the 3. So Luke Walton, who in the first half was held to just 4 points, gets 3 quickly.
2 fouls on Luke Walton. A bigger concern is DeAndre Moore, the point guard for the Aztecs, having 3 fouls.
Bland was just 2 for 10 in his first half. In and out on a shot by Sir. Rebound up, no good. Stolen away by Fox.
Yeah, Mike McHale just working so hard. Doing a good job on the offensive glass there. Wildcats need to become better defensive rebounders.
Walton backs in.
Nice pass.
Anderson not there. Tipped up and in. 6 points for Anderson and a lay-in. Nicely done on the length of the floor drive by McHale.
Stoppage of play here as there was some debris on the floor. There's a little bit more.
Well, Steve Fisher is on the floor too, and he is imploring his team to come out as fired up in the second half as they started the game.
Well, what a job Steve Fisher has done here. His first year here, they won 5 games. Second year here, 14. Last year, they won 21 games. They got an NCAA tournament bid and won the Mountain West Conference tournament. Perilous perimeter ball handling by the Wildcats once again.
Walton looking so dangerous with the ball. He'll shoot it again. Couldn't get the roll that time, and a foul underneath.
One of the great things about Steve Fisher, his win totals over the last 3 seasons, is his voice. No matter how loud it is in the gym, you can always hear it.
It's carrying. You know his kids can hear it. Some may pretend occasionally they can't, but believe me, they can. And gets it out, and here comes Sanders on the wing. Just underway in the second half.
It never would have happened for San Diego State without Steve Fisher. This guy is a franchise-level coach.
As he led Michigan to the national championship in 1989, then went back to the title game 2 more times at Michigan. McHale is fouled on his way to the rack, and he will shoot. McHale came into this contest averaging 18 a game and leading the Aztecs in scoring right now with a 2-2 record.
Well, last year, Mike McHale was the team's best free throw shooter. He's not been as good and effective from the line this year, but coming to San Diego State, hooking up with Steve Fisher, turned this guy's life around. And isn't that what college basketball is all about? And he was the California Junior College Player of the Year up at Porterville Junior College in San Joaquin Valley. And now he comes down here. You talked earlier about the travails of growing up in the inner cities of Washington, D.C., and now he's living here on the beach in San Diego. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, you can't beat that. And his whole life has been saved because of basketball. Great look underneath. Iguodala pointing to Luke Walton, saying, "That's your basket." 51-39.
Playing with Luke Walton, just keep on the move. He'll find you.
They break the press. Land. He was open, and he cashed it in.
Arizona loves to gamble on the perimeter defensively. They got burned that time. Tony Bland 2 for 10 in the first half. Be good for the Aztecs if he could heat it up a little bit.
Gardner left free for just a moment.
Ricky Anderson.
Anderson follows for 2.
How great is that? Dad Gary is here today. What a fabulous family they have. But his mom, Kathy, couldn't make it. Kathy just had heart surgery. She's recovering at home, watching on TV with their other son, Rob.
There's Bland, pulls up.
We want to wish Kathy the speediest of recoveries and get back out on tour. The games just aren't the same without her.
There's Rick on for the dunk. He was fouled, so he will shoot. And a couple of looks at Luke Walton with the ball.
Chris Walton talked earlier in the first half about a life growing up around guys like Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, and I'd like to mention Scott Wedman in that group too, but Scotty wasn't passing the ball very much.
Well, you know, they call him, as you know very well, they call him Bird, don't they? That's his nickname on this team.
That's unfair to both of them.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. You're talking about a guy who led his conference in assists last year. The first non-guard to do it in the history of the Pac-10.
But you're talking about Larry Bird.
I understand. And I'm going to defer to you, his former teammate, on all counts.
There is only one.
Yes.
Larry Bird.
Anderson.
We wish there were a lot more.
That's true.
There is only one.
We talked about this in the first half. This man at the line, Rick Anderson, wanted nothing more than to beat Larry Bird.
Well, Ricky Anderson and Luke Walton dominated the ping pong tournaments in the Australian saga. journey.
I did not see that in the media guide, but Moore got it to go on the drive.
But last night at our house, it was Chris Rogers, the freshman from Portland, Oregon, who got it done. Held court all night long.
Well, all the puzzle pieces are in place. Now ESPN brings you the first breakdown of the college football bowl picture. Reese Davis, Trev Alberts, and Mark May provide analysis of each and every bowl game. The College Game Day Bowl Selection Special. It's presented by Outback tomorrow night on ESPN at 6 Eastern.
So who won the UCLA game today? Who won the UCLA Arizona and Washington State game?
We got to get you a score, Bill. Someone's got to get you a score.
There's got to be a score here somewhere in all these papers that I have.
It's got to be tough to get a UCLA score here at San Diego State, isn't it? Even for you. Backed up and in, and 2 more for Arizona. And the Wildcats have opened up a 12-point lead here.
And those scoring bursts, Steve Fisher and every Wildcat opponent so concerned that in a 3rd foul on Luke Walton.
Chasing from behind, again on that press.
Easy play to call, trying to do too much. The play was going to be made by Jason Gardner, who was in front, and you've already done your job with the chase down from behind.
Bynum about to check in for Lute Olson. 16:22 to play in the contest.
And the great thing about it with Bynum checking in, you have no idea who he's coming in for. The versatility of this squad. He could come in for Channing Frye.
Bynum in, he has 14 points.
Jason's over there saying, I'm not coming out. But I came here to play ball. I came back for my 5th year.
Jason Gardner.
4th year, excuse me.
Yeah, the senior and the All-American.
He's such a good It was an outstanding decision. I know his family struggled mightily with it as to what to do. I really thought it was nice passing.
Walton passing on the baseline, but a terrific block by Sanders. He pinged it. More to shoot. Got it. That's 3. And they're not out of this thing yet by any means. Here's Chris Walton exhorting his team. They answer oh so quickly on the other end.
This is the game Arizona wants to play. Just up and down, threes, press, run, come with tons of guys. Have Channing Frye stand up over the top. Get Will Bynum play ball.
Knocked out of the hands of Gardner. Nice effort there.
That guy's fun. This is the kind of team that I'd like to play on. This is
59-47. It's the team that Jason Gardner runs. And the point guard from Indianapolis, Indiana, has his team in front on the road by 12.
ESPN Full Court on pay-per-view. To order, call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
How to speak Australian. Devotion. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
7-Up is proud to sponsor youth hockey. And for when they get thirsty, I've provided plenty of 7-Up. Because I care about the kids. 7-Up is now proud to sponsor youth swimming. Kick those legs, Tommy.
Is that a waterman bag? Nice phone. I gotta get a cordless headset.
Funny how the holidays turn even the most serious business people into kids again. Consider Office Depot your toy store, because our people know exactly what business people want for the holidays, and we offer a wide variety of gifts at great prices. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Golf Saturday? Can't. It's my weekend with the kids.
When you choose a different definition of wealth, when you ignore trends but embrace change, when you can be counted on, when you laugh out loud without embarrassment, when you're good at saving and giving, when you know what really matters, when you love and learn and live well on your own terms. When you do more than you have to and get more than you ever expected, you win.
Reese Davis with you in the studio to Carver Hawkeye Arena, Southern Mississippi and Iowa. It's been a defensive slugfest. Greg Johnson coming up with a steal and a stuff for the Golden Eagles, and Southern Mississippi with a 2-point lead right now. By the way, Bill, UCLA lost to Washington State 48-27.
No, that can't be. It has not been a good couple weeks for UCLA. You should have seen the emails being circulated among the alumni and the Chancellor's Associates. Oh, it was brutal. And then when UCLA basketball played University of San Diego at Pauley Pavilion before 6,000 fans, and UCLA lost at home, the first call I got was from Luke Walton and Richard Jefferson saying, what is going on here? Ouch. Goodness gracious sakes alive, is right.
I think Reese, by the way, was being kind. The Bruins got thumped today.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Draw scored Deuce Bynum, who's been hot.
Nice zone defense here by Steve Vincent.
Walton low to 5, shot clock at 1. A foul, a reach in by Gardner. Jason Gardner got a hand on him.
Great atmosphere here in Cox Arena tonight. The fans, there's a big student section right behind the basket, and there's a huge Arizona contingent that's 3,000 or 4,000 strong. A lot of them locals here in San Diego, and they're going back and forth. Hopefully there's plenty of staff pro security up there. And Corey Meredith better have his best people out there.
I'm sure there is. I know you brought your own security contingent to surround the press table here tonight. A blocking foul, 14:54 to go in this contest as they get Bynum.
My wife's the only security detail I need.
Ah, there you go. Well said, by the way. Lute Olson, his 30th year of coaching. You're talking about 666 career victories.
And we all know the great relationship he had with his wife, Bobby. Lute tomorrow, he's flying home tonight. He's going to walk 13 miles tomorrow for the Bobby Olson Foundation for Ovarian Cancer fundraiser. He's going to walk in a 13-mile walk. Wow. What a couple. So spent.
Pursuer into the corner.
Nice hands, Will Bynum.
But collected by Bland, and he's short on it. Rebound up, no good. And another effort here for the Aztecs. They're keeping it alive on the glass, but can't get it to go. Sanders
a shot.
Blocked by Anderson out of bounds.
Send it back, Ricky Anderson. This guy's come to play. You know, there's a lot of talk about Rick Anderson was not going to be in the lineup much this year with the new stars, Iguodala coming in, Hassan Adams. Ricky Anderson said, heck the heck with that. He's not going quietly. This guy, he has earned playing time.
So you mentioned out of Southern California, out of Long Beach, and a surfer and an accomplished guitarist, right?
Oh, absolutely. Now, things pick up when Ricky comes over.
The outlet to Walton.
Nice passing by everyone.
And finally get it on the second effort. Hassan Adams.
You mentioned Ricky Anderson being the surfer. When on the Australian trip, they were at the Gold Coast, the Surfers Paradise, little town, their real hot spot, hot surfing spot. Ricky left the team, and I got to ride home, guys. There's a good swell out tonight. And I'll catch up to you guys.
Sir just shot
over the top.
There's Adams. He got it on the give from Luke Walton, and they're getting it going. This is the Arizona that the San Diego State fans did not pay to see tonight. But Luke Walton, with his passing attack, has gotten him geared up. 65-49 the score.
So explosive. Going on the runs here right now in transition. The over-the-top pass. A little off the mark, but when you got the athleticism of Hassan Adams, all San Diego State can do is call timeout.
With 150 available accessories, the Dremel rotary tool is always the right tool for the job. You'll do just about anything to use it. The Dremel rotary tool. Make sure it's on your list.
Hey, this one's different. It's not just a printer.
No, man, it's a scanner that prints.
It's a printer that copies. It's pretty easy. I'll say.
The new Print Trio from Lexmark. Prints, copies, scans. All for only $129. Lexmark. Passion for printing ideas.
Mr. Frodo, the ring's getting heavier, son.
A new power is rising.
It is an army bred to destroy the world of men.
did it come to this?
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
The defenses have to hold.
They will hold.
The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, rated PG-13, starts Wednesday, December 18th.
Before the mansion, before the disaster, evil is born. The beginning of the nightmare. Resident Evil 0, exclusively for Nintendo GameCube, rated M for mature.
What do international cyclists think about the Norelco Advantage Razor?
In Germany, we are using blades. They are much more better. I'm really more of a blade guy.
They had their doubts, but they were intrigued by this highly technical wet shave innovation.
What is this? Goo? Goo. Goo.
This lotion set up an unbelievably close wet shave, even in the shower.
That is good.
After a few weeks of no nicks and cuts from blades, their faces became smooth. They, however, did not. The Norelco Advantage, the only electric razor with built-in shaving lotion.
Arizona 65, San Diego State 49, so the Wildcats are starting to get it rolling here. More of our Walton family reunion. Who's that cute little guy?
That is Luke Walton right there. At a very young age.
A lot of embarrassing bathtub shots, I must say. Kind of like my house.
Well, we had a real good time.
Joined his father Bill in 2001 to become just the third father-son combo ever to have played in a Final Four. And we asked Luke Walton earlier today, what was the #1 thing he learned about watching his father play?
I think the thing that I've gotten from him is the idea of just being a team player and an all-around player. Ever since we were little, he's always preached to us about how you have to be able to make the players around you better, and it's the best way to play basketball is when you're moving the ball and you're getting easy shots and you're doing things as a team. And I really bought into that, and I think I try to put that into my own game.
In the last 6 or 7 minutes, he has been the embodiment of that. He has been driving this team with the passing attack. A foul right at the foul line.
When you talk to Coach Olson about Luke, he brings up one of his ex-players who was my teammate, Bob Gross, who was just a spectacular basketball player. Bob Gross, really the wheel, the hub that kept everything going for that World Championship Portland Trailblazer team. Nice pass, Ricky Anderson.
They'll wave off the basket.
But Bob Gross, as a basketball player, I played with 3 of the most special small forwards in the history of basketball. Jamal Wilkes, UCLA, Bob Gross, the Portland Trailblazers, and Larry Bird. And those guys' ability, so very similar, all of them, to, say, a Bill Bradley. Guys who are just constantly moving and learning from the great coaches. And when Lute Olson says that Luke Walton reminds him of Bob Gross, I stand up and beam because I know how special Bob Gross is.
Well, Luke Walton now also averaging 16 points a game from his junior season, along with 7.3 rebounds. I know one of the things that you preached to all of your kids was be a complete player, not just a one-way player, not just a scorer, to be able to do all those different things well. He's as well-rounded as they get. And on the topic of Coach Wooden and Lute Olson, look at where they stack up in Pac-10 career wins.
Slat Skill, the incredible coach for the Beavers, the Heck Edmondson up at Washington State. Surprised Marv Harshman's not up there. We've got George Raveling here, Bill Frieder, a couple of other ex-Pac-10 coaches in attendance today, and very good friends of, there they are. There's Coach Frieder on the left and George Raveling.
I'm not sure how Bill Frieder got in. He's not related to you. It's an upset here tonight.
Bill Frieder is at virtually every Aztec game.
Yeah.
He is, those two guys, they just love basketball. They're just out there involved in every aspect of it. So much fun to be able to spend time with the old one. Over the top, too high.
Just a little too high and off the hand of Evan Burns.
Good idea. It's a little bit softer. You want to throw it on a line. You don't want to argue a banana pass. Coach Fisher a little frustrated right now. But his team has shown real signs. And with a very tough Mountain West Conference coming up this year. Wyoming, the favorite. BYU, Steve Cleveland's done a really solid job there, but Jarris always has the Utah Utes playing well. And Charlie Spoonhour at UNLV. That's going to be a solid conference season this year.
Bland still in the backcourt, got it across on the pass. Rebounded away by Anderson. He stumbles out of there, and he was fouled as he hit the deck.
Cox Arena at Aztec Bowl. Aztec Bowl, where they used to play the football in here, and the rock concert. Now, with the cement bleachers, wow.
Gardner, 4 points, just 1 out of 6. They needed a better night from Bland. 3 out of 14 from the field, though.
Consistent shooting has always been a problem for Tony. This is a very, very talented guy, but he had just not been able to find that pure stroke on a day-in, day-out basis. That being said, he is the team leader and the go-to guy. Tony Bland went to the same high school Westchester as Hassan Adams and so many other legendary Southern California ball players. David Blumenthal, for one.
That will get you ready for Division I college basketball for sure. And Saturday, December 14th at 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation, it's the Junction Boys, an ESPN original entertainment production. And for more information, log on to ESPN.com. 67-49.
Nice little guitar riff there. Coach Jim Rosborough would really appreciate that. Lute Olson's the associate head coach.
Thanks. I worked on that all weekend last weekend.
I know your favorite guitar.
I do what I can, Bill. It's all about entertaining. McHale traveled and gave it back to Arizona.
When he turns and faces, Mike McHale gets in a lot of trouble.
So timeout here. We have 11:38 to play. We'll see if the Aztecs in their home house can make another run.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the Fiesta's finalized, but who else is BCS bound? Tar Heel freshmen get homeschooled. The Lakers make a statement, and will Philly have an answer for Yao? Linda Cohn, Rich Eisen, SportsCenter after the game on ESPN.
Paul Bear Bryant put 115 football players through hell. But those who survived lived to become champions. The Junction Boys, Saturday, December 14th, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Tommy. What did I tell you about riding without a helmet? What happens if you fall? You can get hurt. Now promise me you'll always wear a helmet.
I promise.
Good. Now climb up that ladder and get Daddy that dish.
DirecTV Movers Connection. Leave your old dish and we'll install a new one with just a phone call. DirecTV. Happy watching.
Notice how TV seems to be made for the masses? Showtime Unlimited, on the other hand, seems to be made for Ben. You see, Ben loves his movies. He's into big-time features and undiscovered films, stirring originals, and comedy classics. And Ben gets it all. 4 premium networks on 9 digital channels. Showtime Unlimited, a whole lot to choose from, for Ben and for you. Call 1-800-DIRECTV and add it on for $12 or less per month. About the cost of a movie ticket and popcorn.
What a day it would be on the Palouse if Washington State could follow up clinching a Rose Bowl bid by upsetting Gonzaga in basketball. But right now, the Zags up by 8, and 8 different Zags have scored already. Speaking of sharing the basketball, guys.
Bill Walton, Dave O'Brien, and of course Luke Walton, the star at Arizona.
All right, and there's Jim and Annemiek Tomey. He was the basketball coach here in San Diego University High School. He coached Nathan, Luke, and Chris. He won his last 7 championships. Wow. He retired as one of the greatest high school coaches in all of Southern California, along with Gordon Nash. And then he came on to become a Steve Fisher assistant here in the men's program for 3 years. And then he just took the job as the women's coach here at San Diego State, and their 3 daughters are there with them right there. So what a terrific family. Coach told me he did a remarkable job as a teacher and coach.
Fox got a great entry pass from Luke Walton, but there was a foul so that he could get free of it. Luke did not think so.
When you think of coaching, you think of what the coaches mean. You've heard me talk over my life about how valuable Coach Wooden has been to my development as a person. Well, to see my son play for Noodles, Steve Fisher, Jim Tomey, and just a fabulous, fabulous opportunity.
Blaine drives the baseline. Walton hauls in the rebound. And with a head of steam, here's Bynum. Here's the lay-in. Oh, it was off the rim. They went for the alley-oop.
A little too careless there. Nice.
Oh, Anderson blocked it. He went flying to the glass.
Ricky Anderson kept playing. Luke Walton stopped it. Mike McHale did an outstanding job of blocking Luke Walton. A hard hammering foul. The best player in the game has been Ricky Anderson. Coming out of nowhere when it seemed as if the play was dead. Everybody else had stopped other than Ricky Anderson.
Rick came into the game, and he's one of the best pure shooters in the West. But came in hitting 67% from the field, but he's doing it on the glass, blocking shots, running the floor. He's doing a lot of those little things.
He's a fifth-year senior as well. He redshirted 2 years ago, the year they went to the Final Four, the dream that was derailed by Duke University, and that great championship team that had Shane Battier and Dunleavy and Jay Williams on it.
Bynum connecting on a three-pointer to extend their lead to 70-51. And Blank just can't buy a basket tonight. Sanders follows. A hard-fought bucket.
Sanders and McHale are doing a very credible job in there. Tony Blank is not getting a lot of good looks. The defense is focused in on him.
Bynum too long. And the Aztecs to bring it up.
I love Will Bynum. This guy is a scorer, and he's hungry, and he's quick, powerful, likes to fight for that ball.
Fires that pass. Good save by Stoudemire.
This guy, Stoudemire, he can shoot. You watch him shoot, that is poetry in motion, his stroke.
Walton in the lane. Rebound picked off by Sanders.
Lost it on the way up. Hasn't been able to play much in practice. Had a couple good days, and they've been slowed a lot by the ankle. Crowd here trying to get the Aztecs back into it.
Down 17, muscling up and in, and there's McHale. He cuts it to 15.
If you're Arizona, just keep passing, keep moving. Hard to see how that's not a foul.
Bland ahead of the floor. And that certainly brought the crowd back into full tilt. The timeout, Arizona. 70-57 with 9:09 left here in the game. And the Aztecs making noise like they want to hang around in this contest and make another run at the #1 Wildcats.
When you're playing on the road, you have to be willing to mix it up physically. Right now, in the last couple of possessions, it's been the Aztecs who have been pushing the Wildcats all over the place, and Lute Olson will have none of that.
Well, how successful has that man in the middle, Lute Olson, and Arizona been since 1988? Look at this winning percentage. It tops Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, UConn, anyone you got.
When you look at the great runs that Lute Olson has been on.
Hey, the hair had to be messed with, didn't it?
Well, that's every player's dream right there.
That's right.
To win the championship, to see the pride, the joy, the happiness, a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. And Lute Olson at the Hall of Fame this year did not attend because his son Steve got married over in Italy, and it was the right thing to do. Lute Olson going to the son's wedding, because Lute Olson was ready the last couple years when they wrongly turned him away at the door.
Well, he said he's ready to go. He hasn't been to the New Look Hall of Fame yet, but he's dying to go.
Beautiful, beautiful. Should have been in years ago. Nice passing, Jason Gardner.
Iguodala force that pass. Shot clock is at 8. Slicing through the lane, and he got it to roll. Very nicely done by Stoudemire.
Arizona people feel that Salim Stoudemire is one of the 2 greatest shooters in the history of the entire program. Steve Kerr being the other one. And when you watch him shoot, if it doesn't go in, you're just amazed. Get on the run if you're Arizona. You got fresh players out there right now. Jack up some threes. Get to the offensive glass.
That's Iguodala off the back iron, followed his own miss. Stoudemire, a nifty fake, pushed it up there. And a foul in the rebounding fray. Stoudemire on the move is something to see. A terrific athlete.
The job Salim Stoudemire does here, just showing flashes of the brilliance that we witnessed all last year, particularly that Pac-10 championship game when Salim Stoudemire just took apart the USC Trojans. That guy had a game that day. Whoa, Staples Center. 4 personal fouls now on Mike McHale, putting Steve Fisher in a real bind. Where does he go? Comes with Evan Burns, moves Sanders into the middle.
There's 3 not there. But Fox hustled for the rebound, and a new shot clock there for Arizona.
Jermaine Davis, number 20, a terrific freshman out of the Bay Area. Do a little bit better job there on the defensive boards and that shot from the corner.
Stoudemire backs up and misses. Tip knocked out of bounds by Stoudemire, and the Aztecs have it. 7:40 left in this contest. 72-57 Arizona. Stoudemire trying to take over for the #1 team in the country.
Honey, look, our first Christmas.
Yeah. You remember what I gave you?
A stuffed reindeer?
I think I did better this year.
This holiday, what can you give the woman who said she'd love you forever and has? The Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the artisans at Leo Schachter. The first diamond to be independently measured and certified for its superior fire, sparkle, and brilliance. And like all diamonds at K, every Leo is hand-selected.
You did a lot better this year.
Every kiss begins with K.
How to speak Australian. Laundromat.
Cheers, mate.
Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
With a pizza this deep, what more could you ask for? How about a deep discount on a second pizza? Now you can get any other medium pizza for the unbelievable price of just $2.99 when you order the Chicago dish at Pizza Hut.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Well, Cox Arena sold out here on the campus of San Diego State University. Bill Walton, Dave O'Brien with you. Luke Walton in the contest, of course, for Arizona, the All-American. His brother Chris, who is a redshirt junior for San Diego State, and Walton's everywhere throughout the building. Bill, we were talking about Arizona's schedule coming up, and of course, right around the corner, the Pac-10 schedule.
Arizona next Sunday at Tucson hosts the #2 team in the country, Texas. They're just playing terrific ball. That is going to be a barn burner over at McHale. Then they go down to LSU. They have never won at LSU. The worst defeat in Lute Olson's history took place at LSU a couple years ago, where they had a phenomenal team. They opened the conference season. Ricky Anderson, star of the game. They opened the conference season, the Wildcats do, at Oregon. Oregon hammered Kansas today up at the Rose Garden in Portland. Then they go to Kansas to play on the road. So Lute Olson, true to form, playing another extremely demanding schedule. It pays off on tournament time.
Backing down from Nolan Bland with a rare jump shot that swishes through for him. Tony's had a cold night for the Aztecs, and they really needed him to be spectacular. Clock pushes it back in. So the recovery by Isaiah Fox, and here's a guy who may weigh in at about 269 pounds, but he looks like he's in great shape.
Isaiah Fox and Dennis Rattimore have worked very, very hard to get themselves in NCAA basketball shape. Coach Olson irate at the showboating there, trying to do a little bit too much. Keep it simple. When you look at the job, that strength and conditioning job that Coach Brad Arnett has done for the Wildcats, these guys are in shape. These two guys, Brad Arnett. Whatever it is they're doing with him, it's working.
Well, I saw Indiana at length in the Maui Classic last month, but I'll tell you what, they are as lean as Arizona. They're about a dead heat, those two teams. Anderson really starting to take over this thing. Another jump hook for him. He has 17.
And we haven't even seen any of Rick Anderson's three-point shooting range. The press, which in the first 3 games just destroyed the opposition, Western Kentucky, Northern Arizona, and St. Louis, has really not been a factor today. Steve Fisher's prepared the Aztecs magnificently, and that's taken away their three-point shooting. Can Jason throw it down? No, just tease him. Coach Olson is going to lose it.
He has been up off that bench, and a blocking foul there by Gardner as he hits the deck. And he's upset right now with Jason Gardner, his senior.
2 straight plays come in. One is one thing. Those plays are great when they work.
When they work, yeah. You wouldn't get this reaction if it's 2, but
oh my God. But remember, it is a game. It is a game. But Jason, as the coach on the floor, needs to set the example and the tone.
Jason Gardner said he came to Arizona because of their tradition of turning out great guards. And in fact, in 1997, when Arizona won the national championship in Indianapolis, they practiced at his high school. And the security guards, when he went down to take a look at one of their practices, refused to let him in. They said, "Kid, I'm sorry, you're going to have it." Well, now, of course, he runs the show at Arizona.
Look at the guard they had on that 97 team. Mike Bibby, Miles Simon, who was the most outstanding player of the tournament, Jason Terry, who's tearing it up for the Atlanta Hawks right now. To say nothing of Michael Dickerson. We can only hope that Michael Dickerson gets his health back for the Memphis Grizzlies, but that guy, that's a quality individual. As all these Wildcats are, and that's the benefit of playing for Coach Olson.
Timeout, San Diego State here, 78-63. I want you to assess your son. I know this is not the easiest thing to do, but Luke's had a very good second half.
Played by foul trouble. He's had 3 throughout most of the second half here. A layoff pass, beautiful movement without the ball. Over the top plays. You've been mentioning about him being the All-American. What I always tell him is that all this stuff at the preseason is all really nice. They put you on the cover of magazines and they show you standing around with your shirt off with the pretty girls and
stuff.
Right. I always tell them it's much better to have your picture on the cover of the magazine at the end of the season.
That's right. But you know, everywhere you look, you're going to see Luke's picture. And we got a chance to hear him at length tonight. He got your pipes, I'll tell you that. He had your passing gene and certainly your voice gene, Billy. He puts Barry White to shame with pipes like that.
Didn't know he shopped at the Cab.
5:23 to play in this one.
Zone defense here. Hacking it in. I try to find Will Bynum moving off one of those back screens.
Find Fly. Bynum on the baseline. Kicks it out to Walton. Gardner pulls up.
Jack one up.
A foul off the basketball. Well, if you're a college football fan, you have to tune in tomorrow night to ESPN at 6 o'clock Eastern as we bring you the College Game Day Bowl Selection Special. It's presented by Outback. ESPN brings you the first breakdown of the college football bowl picture. Reese Davis, Trev Alberts, and Mark May provide analysis of each and every bowl game at 6 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Channing Frye to go to the line. Sanders coming out of the ball game. So Eric Sanders has just fouled out with 7 points.
And that's a major loss because this guy is the hardest working player on the team.
11 rebounds.
This is a guy, Eric Sanders, who won the Wyoming game for Steve Fisher in the Mountain West tournament a year ago that allowed him to advance to the championship game. Evan Burns.
A three-pointer. He has 5 points, but this is his first game eligible. And an out.
The Mankers looks very good here.
In the corner, there's Johnson, a high arcing shot. But there's Burns collecting it.
No rebounding for the Arizona Wildcats. Stroke a three, Evan.
Here's Burns again.
He's only played 10 days in practice because of his eligibility situation with the NCAA. I asked him if he was in good enough shape. He said, I'm 18 years old. I can play ball all day long.
What a great response. Well, they had 3 good looks at the basket.
Evans said he's never been tired in his life.
Gardner bounces for Bynum. He's starting to cool off just a little. 78-66. The Aztecs are not out of it yet. They need a bucket here. Johnson got hung up in the air, though. Tipped up and in. That time McHale underneath got his right hand on it.
Exposing one of the weaknesses of this Wildcat squad. Crowd surging toward the court.
Everybody up here inside sold-out Cox Arena. The first sellout they have ever had in this building.
What a temple this place is as well. Jason Gardner hammered along that sideline, and Mike McHale goes to the ground.
And shaken up. He is slow to rise. McHale, who has been playing in foul trouble, just picked up his 5th.
So the 2 front guys have fouled out, Sanders and McHale. Hard to see how little Jason Gardner could knock Mike McHale down.
Yeah. McHale, one of the big fellas for the Aztecs at 6'9", 250.
Well, we're talking about the Aztecs, and McHale to the bench now to join Eric Sanders. Evan Burns comes in, is going to be a major player in the building of this program by Steve Fisher. Talk about some of the history of this great school. I mean, they haven't had a lot of winning seasons, but Michael Cage, Randy Holcomb, who really carried the squad last year. Tony Gwynn, who is still the all-time assist man on the basketball team and the Hall of Fame baseball player, of course. Steve Kopp, who was terrific. Chad Nelson. The Skulluckys from the early days. John and Al, also from Helix High School. Mike Dodd, who went on to become a world-level volleyball player. And then Chris Marlowe, who has the single most spectacular play in the history of San Diego State basketball when he made a shot lying on his back. Chris Marlowe, the legend himself.
Wanted to turn street money into smart money.
I didn't know you were going to bring it to me all in cash.
But they trusted the wrong man.
Hey, Vic, he took the money.
Go back to your ghetto. Empire, rated R, now playing.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
This is for all of us. The ones who just can't get a break from muscle pain. Well, now, we're about to get a big break with ThermaCare, the 8-hour heat wrap. For relieving muscle pain, it's more effective than ibuprofen, the pain reliever in Advil. An incredible 33% more effective. It's a great day for feeling good. ThermaCare. Feel the difference or your money back.
This holiday season...
What's the matter? Cat got your... Yeah!
One planet has more laughs.
Whoa!
More thrills.
Whoa!
And more fun than all the rest.
Jeez, that wasn't so tough.
Disney's Treasure Planet. Rated PG, now playing.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the Fiesta's finalized, but who else is BCS bound? Tar Heel freshmen get homeschooled. The Lakers make a statement, and will Philly have an answer for Yao? Linda Cohn, Rich Eisen, SportsCenter after the game on ESPN.
Reese Davis with you back in the studio. Gonzaga and Wazoo now at the half, and the Zags up by a dozen. Blake Stepp with 14, Ronny Turioff with 9 so far. The Zags are rolling. Now let's see, this has been a Walton Family Festival. Bill, did you get everybody on TV that you need on yet?
Yeah, that's right, Bill. Who's this young fella?
We're trying very hard. This is our good friend and next-door neighbor, Paul Mazzella, who not only is one of the cutest young men I've ever seen,
he's a good kid.
One of the smartest, too, a straight-A student. Where are your brothers, Paul? They're up in the seats here. Matt and Joe both here, right? Your mom and dad are here. We had them on TV earlier. Great to see you, Paul. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for cheering on Luke and Chris. What a game it was.
And Paul, what a great sweatshirt as well. all us former Orangemen were delighted.
His parents came to see him.
Terrific. Great coach. I haven't even met them yet, but I have a feeling I will, because we're going to meet everybody in the arena tonight.
Oh, we're going out afterward. It's going to be a party.
Tremendous.
Please join us.
SportsCenter coming up next. Linda Cohn and Rich Eisen. The Canes streak to the Fiesta. The Irish stun the Terps. And revisiting the Lakers comeback. Bill Walton, you said, like at halftime, you predicted the Lakers were going to come back and win that.
We were watching the game at the house last night with all the guys, and it was such an embarrassing first half for the Lakers. But in the second half, that'll stop playing. And you can tell by the body language, the nature of NBA basketball, the games are endless.
I'll tell you what, the nature of this one is, it is not done yet. A 10-point lead for Arizona. And a huge possession here for the Wildcats. Walton. Tipped out. Here comes Bland. It's kicked away. He got it back.
Throw the three, Anchor.
Anchor there. No, it rings out.
Coach Fisher was airborne.
He sure was. He was 2 feet off the deck. He wanted that one desperately.
He's been in so many big games, Coach Fisher. Just a joy to watch these two legends go head-to-head here.
And it has been a battle. They're on their feet here at San Diego State. There's Gardner. Too soft. The foul along with the chance to make it a 3-point play. Fox will go to the line.
That whole play was made by Rick Anderson. He got the quick position. He gave himself up and forced the Aztecs to push him out of the way. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see Rick Anderson get pushed underneath the basket. Because he had the inside position, his man had to force him underneath Rick Anderson, and then that just opened it up totally for Isaiah Papa Fox.
Fox has 8. Looking to complete a 3-point play. In and out. Anchor tried the 3 last trip down. They also have Sir in the ball game. He's on the right wing, and Moore just plain lost it.
Nice step out defensively by Isaiah Fox. DeAndre Moore, who has worked so hard to get himself in NCAA level shape. He's a guy who's been plagued by injuries the last couple years, shoulder injury, shin splints all last year. Now he took off a ton of weight, and he's really playing the best ball of his life. Former Compton High star, who played against my son Nathan in state high school playoffs years ago, beat him by 1 point in an overtime game in Los Angeles.
Walton has got it underneath for Fox. A block and a foul. No basket. And that was with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Paul Bear Bryant once said the price of victory is high, but so are the rewards. In 1954, he went to the desert, Junction, Texas, to teach his team that lesson. Saturday, December 14th at 9 Eastern on ESPN. Immediately following the Heisman Trophy presentation, it's the Junction Boys on ESPN.
What was it that Jerry Garcia said? It takes a lot to win, even more to lose. Bear Bryant, John Wooden, Tom Landry, Don Shula, Lute Olson, Steve Fisher, all these guys, they just teach you the great lessons of life.
You're the only man alive that can so eloquently combine those two, Jerry Garcia and John Wooden. Now,
they're the same person.
Most folks would say polar opposites.
They are the same person.
Yeah?
Leadership, creativity, making other people smile.
84-70 Arizona. So back in front by 14 with Sports Center coming up. Linda Cohn, Rich Eisen. And those Miami Hurricanes with a wild one today in the Orange Bowl. Streak to the Fiesta. More on that. And some upsets in college basketball as well. Moore kicks to Burns for a nice layup. Is there time for the Aztecs?
This is the first time I've ever seen Evan Burns play. He is a terrific talent. This guy's got it. He flows over the court. Got spectacular athleticism.
And a guy who missed 23 practices.
You can watch by the way he stands. Watch by the way he looks around the court, keeping his eyes up all the time. This is a real player. And an incredible coup for Steve Fisher. This guy was heading to UCLA. Look at Steve Fisher getting it in there all the time. To watch Steve Fisher work at practice is just a thing of beauty.
Still working on DeAndre Moore there. He got Sir back into the game, his three-point shooter, for a couple of last-ditch efforts here, but the lead at 85-72. And Gardner gets the pair. So inside the last minute. And now Arizona pulls off that press that they have been working the entire ball game.
Nice pressure defense by Will Bynum.
And Sir can't shoot. Anderson all over him. They get it inside there for Moore for the lane, and a timeout. Steve Fisher.
Beautiful execution, beating Arizona at their own game. Spread the floor, back cut them, put the ball right on the mark. Layup, face. Three-man basketball. The post, fake the split, come away. Nice post entry feed there by Steve Sir, who's played a very solid game. The Wildcats have been burned on their perimeter defense. They have not done a good job of rebounding the ball. They got a lot of work cut out for them before they play Texas next Sunday, 2:30 local time in Tucson. I'll be lucky enough to be there as a proud dad.
Well, this has been a great night for you. It's been really a joy for us at ESPN.
It's been unbelievable.
It's been terrific for us to watch
we got
this.
to put Paul Mazzella on television.
Which is great for Paul. I mean, he's never had such a great night, but 35.3 seconds to play here in the ball game tonight, and you know, your kids are terrific. I have to give you all the credit in the world. You and your wife have done a marvelous job. Chris was such a joy, such a terrific young guy. It's unfortunate we didn't get a chance to play against his brother. I know they were both dying to do it, but I'm glad we spent some time with him.
It's his life, Chris. And people were questioning the red shirt move, but he said when he was asked about it, he said that I want to mature as a human being. I want to mature as a student. I want to mature as an athlete. I don't want to race through college. I'm enjoying college. I've seen what redshirting will do to my brothers, because all three of them did take a redshirt year. And I am a proud dad. And I'm having the time of my life today.
It's been a lot of fun here in San Diego, where Bill Walton was made a star for the first time.
I grew up a half a mile from him.
I know it.
My mom went to San Diego State. My dad is at the family home where they've lived for 50 years, just across the way here, watching this game right now. Mom stays for the whole game, knitting away. She would knit through, so there she is. How many hundreds of Afghans she's knitted. My wife, Lori, there's right there, that's Peggy's Mazzella. That's Paul's mom right there, lives right next door. We've seen quite a bit of basketball.
A lot of good basketball too, Bill. A lot of terrific moments that had the opportunity to share with you.
At least Lori wasn't reading a book when we put her on camera.
They've been most well.
Well, she sees maybe a little bit more basketball than she would care. But she's very supportive.
And launches and misses. The last seconds ticking away. A spirited effort tonight, certainly by San Diego State. Glenn thought he got fouled on the three. There was no whistle. And now the press here by the Aztecs. Iguodala gets it off to Bynum. Bynum is fouled, and he got hit in the face with 13.1 left in a 10-point game.
We talked so much about coaches tonight. One thing we haven't mentioned, Tommy Johnson, who was involved in that foul play right there, number 0 for the San Diego State Aztecs, as Will Bynum tries to get his contact lens back there. But there's Tommy Johnson. He played for Willie West. Crenshaw High. Willie West, who has taught so many Los Angeles area basketball players how to play, including Marcus Johnson, one of the absolute greats of all time at all levels, high school, college, and pro. Willie West teaching Tommy Johnson up at Crenshaw High. Magnificent. This right here is Justin Kukoski here. He's the new trainer at Arizona men's basketball. Took over for Ed Orr, who left to go over to Bowling Green University. There's Josh, assistant coach, who got a great opportunity there, sitting in between Coach Tension and Coach Rosborough. Free throw attempt. Arizona getting to the line, and San Diego State not. It was interesting because it appeared as if San Diego State had control of the paint so much of the time, but then when their big men fouled out, you get Sanders and McHale both fouling out. A tremendous amount of pressure on Steve Fisher.
Will Bynum by over 19 points for Arizona tonight.
Thanks for letting my dreams come true.
Our pleasure. Really a special night here in San Diego, and at San Diego State with the first sellout that Steve Fisher and the program have ever had in this building. They're going to have many more to come. And certainly with Chris Walton and the others who will be with them next season, things are certainly looking up. That'll count at the buzzer. And so our final score, 89-81. Bill Walton, thanks so much. Great night for you.
What a day. I had so much fun. It was great to see. Both squads played well. A family reunion. What more could you ask for in life? Am I the luckiest guy in the world or what?
Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next. For Bill Walton and all the Waltons, I'm Dave O'Brien. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everybody.